I have never done an art style swap before. It looks like fun. So why don't we see how much art I can make in the style of my gal, the iconic Art with Ashleigh Monet. That's right, the art prompt book is out, but what is the first prompt? When is Sunday? Draw a yummy or not sweet treat. You might be able to guess why this prompt stood out to me. If you're familiar with Ashleigh's art style, well, this sundae is gonna be a little bit creepy. And for that, we need the markers. Oh, do you think these colours will work? I think we'll need some tape too, because this page is getting stuck in. For this how much art can you make book, I'm actually kind of alternating pages. My create this book is getting kind of huge, so to avoid that, I'm drawing directly in the book, like every other page, so that means we need to stick something in. Now, the sundae. To start with, of course, we need our base. We need glass, vanilla ice cream, before adding red. And you might be able to guess what all of that goo is. Yes, this is a gross ice cream of sorts. However, you can actually get sweets like this. I remember as a child having like these eyeball sweets. So this sundae is a combination of both. Inspired by the real thing, like actual eyes, and also those lovely yummy sweets. So we need some nice pastel tones for this. I gotta say, I don't think I've ever drawn an eyeball before that's like bloodshot and looks a little bit creepy. And so far, I'm having a lot of fun with this challenge. There are so many incredible artists whose art style I could have taken on, but I feel like Ashleigh's is the furthest away from mine. And I thought it would be fun to do something completely out of my comfort zone. I tend to create cute art, and right now we are creating a lot of not so cute things. We've also got some little bones in there, which I think are also sweets. Oh, maybe they're dog treats. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. No, I'm sure I've had them before. Little foam bones, right? Oh no, what is that doing there? Oh, why is the page not staying down? Spoiler alert for a future page, a future video, and it's been in this whole session. Okay, it's fine. Let's just ignore it. Let's just pop it away, shall we? Because we just need some brains before moving on to the next step. Our sundae is vanilla, the glass is light. So what colour is this background gonna be? What about green? Okay, green is my most disliked colour, but this isn't my art style, this is Ashleigh's art style. And I believe that green is one of Ashleigh's favourite colours to use. This is like chromium oxide, apparently it's a nice muted green, which I think is gonna work for this. Hopefully. We want to make sure that the ice cream still pops on the page, and it being quite pastel, I think the dark background is a good choice. Now, what else does Ashleigh do? The sauce is looking like something, and Ashleigh would add a juicy highlight. I know that's what she'd do, so we're gonna go overboard and we're gonna add white all over this sauce. I have this black acrylic marker. Looking at this piece right now, thinking, what would Ashleigh do? I think Ashleigh would add a bold black line around the entire piece. It's something that I don't tend to do, but if Ashleigh were taking on this prompt and creating a creepy sundae, I think a bold black line might be right. Well, that's only one side, so why don't we glue this and stick it in before moving on to the other side. Today we're taking on Art with Ashleigh Monet's art style for 3 prompts in this book. It's a challenge. You'll have to let me know down below what you think. Did I get it right? Do you think this is how Ashleigh would have taken on the prompt? I don't know. I must say, it's kind of crazy going into a sketchbook with art supplies and trying to see the piece through somebody else's eyes, trying to see how they would take on this prompt, what they might draw and how they might draw it, and what the next steps are. It's very different, and honestly, I'm absolutely loving it. Trying to see art through someone else's eyes is so much fun. You gotta try it if you can. Now, that's the background sorted. What's going on this side? Of course, we need a logo for the menu. This is Ashleigh's Diner. Okay, let's not take any note of these prices because I don't know what was going through my head at this point. $20 for a brain and $30 for bones? That can't be right. I mean, I don't know what the going rate is. Like $12 for eyeballs? Bones have got to be cheaper, right? Like in the supermarket, other bones are cheaper? I don't know what the going rate is for any of these items, so we're just gonna look past that. Add some line work, define a little, because that is number one done. What's next? We're moving on to number 2. I think number 2 is going to be the most fun. It is acrylic markers, which I don't think I've seen Ashleigh use very much, but we're on black paper, so we don't have a ton of options. You know what though? We are saving the hardest one till last. That is going to be the most detailed, the most scary. We'll do it at the end. But what is the next prompt? Well, there was one that particularly stood out. Let me show you. Ooh. Just before this, we have what to carve. Draw the weirdest pumpkin you can imagine. Obviously, we will rewrite that because that looks messy as anything. And this is the sketch. Where do we begin? It's a pumpkin shaped like a skull. Got it. I noticed on Ashleigh's Instagram that a lot of her sticker eyes are drawn in a very similar way. We've got some lovely big round eyes here that I hope is a similar style. I think so. This might even be black. And then it's just very simple white little goggle eyes. Next, drips under the eyes. I mean, it's in this piece. It's in quite a few of Ashleigh's pieces. She also did this skull recently that has the same drip, so I think that's going to be really cool to have underneath the eyes here. I'm thinking we'll go for some acrylics. Oh, let's do this.
I think it's sweet, she sometimes winks when she laughs. I like the way she dances barefoot in the grass. Yeah, we get along alright. 'Cause I've been dating me my whole life.
These are not the most opaque markers, as you can see, but it's okay. I'm hoping that we'll be able to layer and it will be fine. Just going in with the white first to make it a little bit lighter before we go in with that orange. Now, this is the tricky part. I create in a very different way with acrylic markers than to what Ashleigh does. So I reached for a paintbrush to blend. I'm not sure that's right.
Back streets to avoid the crowds. Waltz over sidewalks and twirling the
Microsoft Teams.
It's taken years, but I think I finally have actually found my art style, especially when it comes to acrylic markers, because right now I am having to fight everything in me to not paint in the same way. I have quite a distinct style when it comes to acrylic markers. I like big block colors. It kind of looks like this. I don't know where it came from. I painted a marker stand and went with the flow, and that's where we ended up, and I kind of fell in love. But of course, this is a very different style that needs a little bit of blending, and I think the paintbrush has achieved that. But we do have the top of this pumpkin to do, and I'm just hoping the green isn't going to clash too much with what's already down. Maybe a more muted color is going to work for this. Although saying that, we are using the bright green on black paper, so it's probably already gonna blend just a little bit more. Still, the paintbrush is also helping. I'm feeling really good about this so far. Also, really surprising myself here. Like, I haven't created anything like this before, and I can actually see it. It's super difficult trying to figure out how to create art in someone else's style, but I've got to say, I think the art prompt book really helped in this case, because all three of these prompts really stood out to me. I think if they saw this prompt, create the weirdest pumpkin, I think Ashleigh would create in this way, and that's so much easier than just creating like a sketchbook spread in someone else's style. It's also so much fun to envision how someone else might have interpreted this prompt. So if you're ever struggling for what to do in your sketchbook or in an art prompt book, why don't you try and take on somebody else's art style? Really push yourself and see what you can do with it. Because looking at this pumpkin right now, I can see it. I can see the vision. But you know what? I think it needs something else.
Nobody else. I'd rather spend my
The background is looking very bare. This is usually the time that I would reach for like stars or dots or something like that. But that isn't really what Ashleigh tends to do. Let's have a look. Like, there's a lot of space. There's not really backgrounds there. Oh, now this one does. So this has acrylic marker, it looks like. Little leaves. That's cute. I love that idea. Maybe we'll find some inspiration in the stickers. I mean, it's kind of looking like a sticker. Ah, that one is my favorite. I've not found the perfect sketchbook for it yet, but it's so cute. And yes, I did get it twice. I love this little border, but if we cut the pumpkin to have a similar border, we're gonna see all of that bleed through on the other side. So unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna work. Love all of this solid black. Maybe we can do that in the next one. Yeah, there's a little drippy eyes again. Okay, I'm feeling good about it. I think we need to add the little elements that are in that one to make it look a little bit more like an Ashleigh piece.
To me, love isn't pain, I can't explain it. You make me do things I would never do. Acting like we're inside a movie. So kiss me before you go. I don't know. A single word, it encapsulated how I feel. A sentence is run off the page.
Oh, the black line around the pumpkin. Is this not the perfect choice? A spontaneous decision, along with the little drips around the eyes. But you know what? Bold black line work is part of the style. We have to do it, and it is working. It's looking like a sticker, and I'm so happy with this piece. We need to scan it just in case it does ever become a sticker, and unfortunately we need to cut it in half. Literally the scariest part. Glue it, stick it, cut it.
I decipher poetry when I can't think. 'Cause when I'm lying next to you, second guessing the moves I'm making.
Gonna add the prompt on the side here. Adding a juicy highlight. Instantly regretting the juicy highlight. Maybe a bit too much. Let's tone it down a little bit. And that's number 2. We've made a gruesome sundae from Ashleigh's Diner, a cute but creepy pumpkin, and now, what's bubbling? Draw something that pops or bubbles. With this prompt, I think Ashleigh would draw a creepy little zombie with cuts and boils and things oozing. I think that's the route, and they're often green. So why don't we grab all of these? So this is a creepy little green person, and I'm really struggling with this face right now. I think the green is a little bit too dark, so I'm trying to blend it out, but we're just getting darker and darker. That was my mistake. But hopefully if we just add some more colours, add some yellow for the highlights, maybe we can pull this together. I don't know, it's looking very strange right now. Yeah. What about some pinky purple hair? I remembered that Ashleigh doesn't like blue. I know that. That came up in the packing live stream last year after I launched my shop and we were packing Ashleigh's order. She almost ended up with a blue art trading card or ACEO. Luckily, some of you stepped into the rescue. Phew. Definitely remembered it for this piece though. No blue whatsoever. And you know what? It's not the end of the world really, because pink and green are opposite each other in the colour wheel, so it kind of looks like it's planned. Saying that, you can see by the end of this marker, it's supposed to be purple, and I guess this is why we look at the swatch sheet, but I've actually noticed that alcohol markers look pretty different on Amazon paper as opposed to the Ahuhu paper swatch cards that come with the markers. Yeah, there's quite the colour shift. And it's something that we're learning as we fill the art prompt book. And if you're watching this and curious about what's in the art prompt book, I've popped a video below explaining how it works. And there's also a playlist so you get to see some of the prompts in there. And if you want to get a book yourself, the links are also down below in the description. I had so much fun making this art prompt book. There's 100, and honestly, I'm having fun filling it myself. Now, this creepy little zombie. You know what I thought would be a fun touch? Is the zombie holding a bubble tea. We need to draw something that pops and bubbles. And trying to see this prompt through the eyes of another artist. A zombie that has things oozing, popping and bubbling on their face whilst holding a bubble tea. Oh, I think it's perfect. Right? Well, since the hair didn't end up very purple, I thought we could use purple for the background. I mean, it's very bold. Oh, I also want to say a big thank you to the sketchbook buddies over on Patreon. Whilst we're adding some more little gruesome things to this zombie, I kind of forgot that we need to add all of the gruesome steps. And of course, a juicy highlight with a white acrylic. I have never done this before. I don't know why. I guess because they were out. I guess it's now mixed media. And we're adding acrylic to the bubble tea. Maybe I should do this more often. It's kind of cool. And just like that, over 2 days, we completed 3 art prompts in the style of Art with Ashleigh Monet. Taking on a creepy zombie, gruesome with a bubble tea, an adorable little pumpkin that has all of the elements that should make it kind of creepy, but it looks cute. Might make a fun Halloween sticker. And of course, we have this sundae from Ashleigh's Diner. What do you think? Did I successfully take on Ashleigh Monet's art style? Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you on Sunday. Bye bye.